Okay, so today I'm at one of my club waters and I really want to run through some really basic stuff. So I've come along just for a couple of hours fishing and this is what I describe as not commercial, it's not an easy water at all. Matches are one with around £30, but it's a bit of a mixed lake. And what's happening lately, I'm seeing the club results in our club, and you know, when you read through the Angling Times and the bait tech section, etc., and some really big weights coming out. But you also see there's some guys struggling. So I think there's a really simple way that you can approach any water, whether it's a mixed lake like this, where there's lots of silvers, some big carp, tench, barbel, etc., or whether it's an out-and-out F1 or carp water, and it's about fishing short. So this is the most simple setup ever. In fact, the tackle I'm using today is probably worth about 300 quid. So it doesn't have to be an expensive game, whether you're fishing your local water on an open or whether it's going around the country with your club. Nice and simple. The bait tray is so easy. I've got a tin of corn, 30p, a handful of 3 milli pellets, about 50 pence worth, a pint of red and white maggots, and some soft hooker pellets that are 3 quid, and I've had them for about 4 years. So it doesn't get any more simple than that. What it's all about is location, and on a lake like this, it's quite warm today, it's about 25 degrees, but we've got a bit of a ripple and it's overcast, which is good. It's quite noisy, you can hear the motorway just behind me, so it almost masks me setting up on the lake as well. The fish are used to the noise of the road traffic. So with that in mind, I know I can get away with literally finding a comfortable spot, and today it's SOT 2 and 2 more sections. So we're fishing literally at about 6 metres. And if everybody approached the match this way, rather than fanning around with a bomb 1 minute, a pellet waggler the next, or long, short, side to side, if you just concentrate short, I guarantee that those lads that are struggling on their club matches would certainly increase their weights. So today, in this couple of hours, I said matches are won with about 30 to 40 pound on this lake. That's normally made up of a number of silvers with 1 or 2 bonus carp. So I'm going to concentrate literally 4 or 5 maggots, just as that slope levels out at that sort of 5 to 6 metre line. Just around that sort of area there. Rig-wise, so simple it's untrue. That is a Drennan Lake. It's 0.2 of a gram. It's on 0.15 line, which is about sort of 4.5 pound. I've got some stots spread out, number 11s, in the last 18 inches, with a 4-inch hook length of 0.11 line, about 3 pound, and a size 18 hook. It's a Drennan carp maggot hook. I've also set up a shallow line because it's warm. I intend to start on the bottom, but as I feed my maggots, I imagine that the little roach, the perch, skimmers that we've got in here, 1 or 2 eyed as well, will come up in the water. So we've got quite a positive shallow rig. It's a Drennan caster float, 0.2 of a gram, with 3 number 11s set straight underneath the float, and then just 2 number 11s down the line. That's set about sort of 2 foot deep. The water's about 3.5 foot deep. I imagine I can come up to probably about 12 inches. The interesting thing though, quite a big size hook. That's a 16 Drennan silverfish hook, because when we're fishing shallow and I'm swinging fish in, I don't want to be using a little tiny hook where the fish are going to swing off. And finally, for 1 or 2 bonus fish, so I'm just going to plug away. My target is double figures, about 10 pound of silvers, fishing in the short line here, I hope, in a couple of hours. But also for 1 or 2 bonus fish, I'm going to feed these 3 milli pellets and corn down this left hand margin here, down to the next peg. It's about 18 inches to 2 foot. I'm hoping that the carp in the lake will come in there a little bit later on and I'll get 1 or 2 bonus fish. Now I can't put carp in the keep yet, it's not allowed on the fishery, but I can put my silvers in. So hopefully we'll get you a few action shots as we go through. But I'm going to kick off on that Drennan Lake rig. Elastic wise, didn't mention, that's a Drennan 426, the Aqua Hollow. For the shallow line, that is a 2 to 6 hollow, very, very light. I don't want to be bumping those silvers off. For down the edge, for the carp, it's a 12s solid. 12 solid. Interestingly, that rig as well, down the edge, it's just a 0.3 of a gram diamond float, nice big thick buoyant tip. So I'm fishing corn, so I don't want it dragging under if any fish come in and give me line bites. And just a bulk of number 8 stops down there. It's 0.18 line, so it's like £7 straight through to a size 14 Drennan margin carp. So it's a very strong rig. I'm not going to get snapped, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens. There's a few carp in here, but it's not commercial, and that's important. But if you do this, I promise you, if you're struggling on your matches when you're out and about, just fishing short, the bottom of the near shelf with maggots, you will catch probably double what you're already catching. Instead of messing about, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, 20 minutes down the edge, concentrate short for the first few hours, come down your margins for the last hour of the match, and you'll do well. So let's get fishing, and we'll have a little update later on. Hopefully a few action shots as well of playing fish. So let's see if we can hit our target. Lovely. So we began the session fishing on the bottom. Bites were pretty quick instantly on the Drennan lake rig. Was fishing a couple of inches over depth, flicking maggots over the top. Was getting roach of this sort of size, between sort of 2 and 4 ounces. Within time though, probably around half an hour, 40 minutes into the session, we had to go shallow. The Drennan caster rig came out, and you'll notice from the imagery there, we've got quite a long line between the float tip and the pole. That's because the water was quite clear. Once we came shallow, the stamp increased. We was getting up between 4 and 6 ounces in size. It wasn't long though before I had to have a look down the edge. Looking to my left, it wasn't quite right, so I decided to feed to the right hand side and had a bite instantly. The cover seemed to be a little bit more confident for the fish, because I say the water was quite clear. A small mirror carp and a small common soon succumbed to a corn hook bait over those 3 milli pellets. Again, feeding to the right, all I was doing was a small toss pot of bait, basically setting a trap for the carp coming in. I continued to feed the shallow line, but again managed to catch a decent fish down to my right hand side. The 12's elastic felt perfect to the 0.18 line, and they really did seem to pull back today. What I did see though as well was 1 or 2 fish on the surface. Some of the imagery that we took throughout the day meant that I just couldn't resist having a little go at mugging those fish. So we couldn't resist the temptation of doing a bit of mugging. Just got my margin rig, and just like I did before, flipped it on top of a single fish. I don't think it'll take it, to be honest. Single fish don't always do it. This isn't part of the plan. Silverfish and margin fish was the focus of the day, but I just couldn't resist it. So it was a piece of corn, and I squoze out the middle so it fluttered down, probably not even 12 inches deep, and I couldn't resist. And I have to say, I do feel a little bit undergunned here with this 12 solid. I would have liked probably slightly heavier elastic, but see how big it is first. Bonnie mirror. Stand up and give it a bit of teddy. I don't know if we will get it in this soppy net of mine. But a bit of fun, we're only pleasure fishing. And like I say, if it was a match situation, I would have had a mugging rig set 100%.
see how clear that water is. Just about that way. Nearly caught that.
I think it's come out alright, even started to
It's a bonus fish, that is for sure.
lovely looking mirror. £6-7. It's come out okay, so yeah, not part of the plan today, but I just couldn't resist, so lovely, simply lovely. After all the excitement of mugging that carp, it was really important to get back on track with the silverfish. Continually feeding maggots over that short line, the fish was soon swirling again, and we started getting into a steady rhythm of skimmers, roach, small-eyed and rudd, and putting them in the net. We probably didn't hit that £10 target which I set myself, but it's because I started getting distracted with the cruising fish. Probably around £8 to £10 of silvers and 4 carp made for a really interesting day, and just shows you how easy and how important it is to not miss out on those short line fish. Okay, so we've fished for probably 3.5 hours. That's my little net of silverfish. Probably not quite double figures, maybe about sort of £8-9. But to be honest, I started messing around and trying to mug fish and bits and pieces, so I could have caught a few more, could have done my double figures easy. But the point is, and the point of the session is, by fishing short, keeping things simple, keeping things nice and tight, I started on the bottom, feeding those maggots over the top, and eventually the bits and pieces started swirling, and you can see some lovely stamp roach. And then I've gone down the edge, corn over micros, and I had 1 or 2 carp. In fact, I had 4 carp in total. 2 of those were down the edge, a little mirror that I mugged, and then a bigger fish at the end as well. So probably £25-30 would have done well if it would have been a match, but keeping things simple, keeping it nice and tight, maggots. As I said earlier on, all you would do is just adjust your rigs and your line for the fish that you're targeting. In today's case, we fished nice and light, short for these, and then we beefed up a little bit down the edge and had a couple of carp. So fantastic day, keep it nice and simple, keep it short and sweet, and you will literally sort of enjoy a mixed day's fishing. So good stuff.